Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And today I want to talk to you about a presentation I entitled, Are You Sure About This? I've been asked recently, maybe as a follow-up to the prior video that I produced by several people about what's a good measuring device that they can use to ensure that they stay above their and stay profitable. And I suggested that the key is always knowing what your break-even levels are and ensuring profitability as a result. My own business coach, Dan Sullivan, suggests that all progress begins with telling the truth. You can't make improvement. You can't make improvement if, in fact, you don't know what your break-evens are or where you are currently, no matter what level of success or short of success you may be hitting right now. It's a challenging concept, but understanding your break-even levels is very important. Break-evens are basically the level of either milk production, feed cost, or I lost it, drew a blank there. The feed cost, milk production, or milk price, where you will not lose money. You'll basically break even or do better than break even. The break even cost, for example, is the cost level where no money is lost, but you're maintaining the same milk price and milk production levels. For example, if you had $155,000 worth of cost for a given time period, and during that time period you produced 10,000 hundredweights, your cost, we know, is $15.50 per hundredweight. But on that 10,000 hundredweights, if during that same time period you lost $5,000, that tells us that we actually need not a $15.50 milk price to break even. We need a $16 milk price, because your costs were $15.50 and your loss above those costs, above your revenue level rather, is 50 cents. So we know you've got to have $16 milk to break even, or you've got to decrease your costs somehow by 50 cents per hundredweight. So all of that's just basic math. And if you need assistance with it, I'm happy to help you. You just reach out to me via email or our website. I'd be happy to help you with that. But let's talk about 5 primary reasons why you must know this. You must know what your break-even levels are. Reason number 1, and this is a hard one, but banks will not finance continued losses anymore. Ask those that have tried that during the years 2015 to 2019. There is no more banking on the future if you can't establish and explain to your lender what your actual costs per hundredweight are and what you project to have happen going forward, and it needs to be fairly positive. So number 1, banks will not finance continued losses as they may have historically in the past. Number 2, you need to know your break even so you know the amount of change that you can absorb. For example, if feed costs go up, how can you handle it? That's important to know. If so, if you can handle it, how much can you handle it? Can you handle a 50 cent per hundredweight feed cost increase based on future projected milk prices, and even more importantly, what you might have contracted on milk prices? And that, I didn't even have them on the list, but that's another reason to know your break even. You won't want to build in a loss with future milk contracts. You may minimize losses, but the most important thing is to be able to lock in a profit above your operating costs. Number 3, what if interest rates increase? Can you cover it? Can you cover the additional interest expense? This is really important, but more significantly, more specifically, how much can you increase? You can only run what I call what-if scenarios if, and I say if and only, if you know what your break-evens are. You have to know what your costs are per hundredweight, and this is what leads and feeds into the break-even analysis. Number 4, a little more positive here, knowing your break-evens will let you plan for the future. For example, if you've got a 450 cow operation and you ask yourself, can I milk 50 more cows, assuming your facility will handle it, Can I milk 50 more cows with the same amount of labor and fixed costs? If so, you can impact your break-even levels in a very positive way, because you can put your break-even levels down by spreading those fixed costs, and in this case the labor cost, over more cows, more hundredweights. That's a very positive thing. But one more reason, the fourth reason that you want to know what your break-evens are, why this is significant. Point number 5 is some people have challenges with this, and I understand it. It's a little complicated, but it's not that complicated. So if you need help with this, contact me. My email is john@success-strategies.com. I will be glad to assist you. And as a suggestion tied to that, I would check out our Success Strategies Business Navigator program at our website. My website is right behind